Welcome on in, folks, from Cacti Park, right here in the Palm Beaches. A beautiful Monday edition, the 23rd of February. A bit chilly here in South Florida, but it's a perfect day for some baseball. You're going to have the Nationals taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, not always on the east coast of Florida, and they are today. They're going to be first pitch, going to be at 6:05 right here at Cacti. Going to see a couple starters from both sides going head-to-head. Should be a good one. We got you for the next couple hours here on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo back with us right next to me. And we got Christian Cat at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, where we got you on YouTube at ESPN South Florida and Twitter and Facebook at ESPN West Palm. And, of course, on your radio dial, ESPN 106.3. It was a weekend that was heralded by United States making quite another stamp of approval in the ice hockey first Olympic gold medal won since the 1980 famous win over the Soviet Union, and then Finland in the championship, or the gold medal game, I should say. And they did it again yesterday with a highly touted gold medal matchup starting at 8 a.m. Yesterday on NBC. So bars around the country opened up early, even in the Central and Pacific time zones. And United States and Canada fans akin gathered together in all these different spots to watch quite a game. Quite an amazing Olympic gold medal game in which Jack Hughes, the young star, alongside his brother Quinn Hughes for the United States, were big focal points in that United States attack and defense. And Connor Hellebuck at goal for the United States with 41 saves out of 42 shots on goal for the Canadians. Really were the stars of the game. Jack Hughes having a golden goal in the 3v3 overtime format. And the United States, after striking first and sort of playing keep away and managing all the Canadian attacks that you saw in that second and third period especially, they were able to close it out, especially once you got to that overtime, 3-on-3. It's all about that, getting on the fast break, getting on a breakaway. It's all about a fast break, and the United States, once again, proved that, Canada's big sport is hockey, and United States, what is it, the United States' fourth big sport, fifth, and taking them down in that format on NBC first thing in the morning over in Milan in the 2026 Olympics was nothing short of spectacular.
To hold that Canada team to one goal, too. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a hockey savant, all right, but I knew a lot of names on that Canadian team. You know a lot of names on the USA team. But that Canada team, a team full of juggernauts, and the fact that Team USA was able to hold them to one goal is what I think was the story there. And Colin, whenever you put a country, my country, in front of anything, a team, put us on the field on anything, I'm into it. I was really into that game. And the fact that it was the first time since they won since the 80s. All right, that's a big deal. And that Canada team, I can't stress enough how loaded that team was, and to just hold them to one goal and the win with that golden goal the way they did was incredible. You had the kid with the teeth. He was missing his teeth at the end of the game. He didn't care. And he said all the right things at the end of the game too. I love the United States. I hope everyone, around the country is proud for this. It makes you proud to, be American and proud to live here. I'll tell you that, man. What a friggin' final that was against Canada. And I think, Colin, whenever you you'll see it with the World Cup. I think you'll see it with the World Baseball Classic. Granted, the last time we had the World Baseball Classic in 2023, I was upset that we didn't win. I'm that kind of guy. Whenever you put us on the field, on the ice, or on whatever field of play it is, Colin, I am into it. And the whole country was into it. I mean, my Instagram with people who, let's just put it this way, Colin, they don't follow sports at all, okay? And they're reposting it on their stories. They're reposting it on their social media. That hockey team gave us a tremendous amount of pride as a nation on Sunday, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, and the Canadians took down the United States in 2002 in the Olympics. They took down the United States in 2010 in the Olympics. They won the Four Nations Classic last year in its inaugural year in the championship. That was last All-Star break. I know the United States beat them in the round robin. But every big game, the United States were not able to get over that hump of the Canadian ice hockey team. The Canadian ice hockey team obviously has the big stars, the Nathan McKinnons and the Connor McDavids of the world. But the one thing the United States has is they have Connor Hellebuck, who is widely known as one of, if not the best goaltender in this sport of hockey. And he was nothing short of it. I mean, the stick save, every close call the Canadians got, and they made him work. 20 shots in that second period. They put 42 shots on goal. I mean, I was sitting there thinking, especially through that second and third period, boy, United States is getting shelled right now. They're getting killed. They're not a second of offense for the United States really through that second and third period. And when the Canadians got that double minor on the high stick, that where the Jack Hughes' teeth fell over the ice, right when they did that, and the Canadians did a great job nullifying that and doing a penalty kill, I was thinking, they're not going to win this. But you got to give the United States credit. A number of different things rolled their direction. It was when they did the 5-on-3 penalty kill, when they had about 48 seconds a minute of just completely lopsided. They killed that, but it felt like the United States were trying to get to OT because the Canadians were relentless in their attack, relentless. And you were just hoping that, all right, when the 3v3 comes around, I don't like the 3v3. I talked about it on Friday or Thursday. I don't like the 3v3. I think it's a little sacrilegious for a gold medal game for the sport of hockey. It's a little too gimmicky because it's just so clearly it's just not 5-on-5. And the 3-on-3, it just changes the whole dynamic of the game. I don't love it, but it really worked to the United States' favor yesterday. Because the United States, the second it gets to 3v3, the talent, the gap starts to, shrink a little bit because it's just about, managing an opportunity. And when you have the best goaltender on the ice, I know Bington played pretty well, but Hellebuck was unbelievable. When you were able to have that as sort of that last line of defense, all they needed to do was just sort of stay above water.
Hey, hang on. And then I kept saying that. I kept texting that to family members. Just keep hanging on. Keep weathering the storm. You mentioned they were getting battered. I mean, they were. They were relentless, the Canadians, with their attack and what they were doing. But the United States hung around. And like in football, there's a famous saying, don't give a team hope. Canada gave the USA hope, and we were able to take advantage of a big chance at the end of that game.
Yeah, and Nathan McKinnon missing that shot point-blank period 10 minutes ago in the third period, tied at 1. Once he missed that, and that was what? That didn't go in? It was one of those moments. And as point-blank as it gets, and the United States would have held on to win. If I'm him, I'd burn that tape. I don't watch that game ever again. I don't know how you'd swallow that one. That was as bad of a miss as you could possibly find. And there was your opportunity. The second that happened, and then all the penalties started to hit in that 7-8 minute mark where the Canadians had the power play, the United States had the power play. The second we got to the point where he missed that shot, I started thinking, all right, sometimes a missed opportunity like that can work as a momentum boost for the team that got very fortunate. Yeah, let's call it. We see it. The United States won the game. The United States, I know Nathan McKinnon was getting pounded for it post-game, talking about you make the judge on who is the better team. He is right. The Canadian team did play better throughout the entire game, but it's about controlling opportunities and taking advantage of opportunities. I'm not going to kill him for saying that specifically because if you look at that quote in context, he was like, "Hey, the USA won that. We didn't take advantage of our opportunities. You be your own judge on who the better team was in that game." So it's hard to kill him for that when you realize that, the United States was fortunate. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
Fortunate to win that one. That's the only thing I could say as a macro level story of the game was I personally felt it was about capitalizing on your opportunities. Canadians did not do that. And the second you get to OT, all bets are off. All bets are off. It does not matter who has the biggest talent gap. There's going to be 7 or 8 total breakaways, and somebody's going to score. So if you don't score in the first 3-4 minutes, the other team is going to take advantage. That was my feel once we got to OT. 888-760-3776. Did you watch the hockey yesterday, the gold medal game between the United States and Canada? Where does it rank for you in terms of overall victories for the United States in sports that we have seen. And did you feel that the United States were fortunate in that matchup against Canada in the gold medal on NBC yesterday morning on Sunday? 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. That's 888-760-3776. Walking away from that, too, how they handled it, you know what I thought was maybe the icing on the cake? Not only Jack Hughes' post-game interview, where he was talking about, the pride of America, pride of the flag, pride of defending.
Loved every second of it.
Yeah, it was great. And what they did with Johnny Gaudreau, who passed away in, I believe, August of 24, alongside his brother Matt on a drunk driving incident. And he was going to be a mainstay of that United States roster. We knew that. He was, I believe, the United States all-time leading scorer in international play. He, unfortunately, tragically passed away. And what they did post-game is where they got his kids out there and they got his jersey out there and they took a picture with all teams, the whole team and his kids. And I thought that was maybe the icing on the cake, that maybe it felt that Olympic magic that the United States, sort of gathered in 1980. It's a different situation, but that Olympic magic is real. And I think it really did feel that with how they handled honoring Johnny and Matt Gaudreau at the end of that game. That was nothing. That was special. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. And the post-match interviews, the ambiance. They're going to be at 11 down in Miami tonight. I mean, you couldn't draw it up much better than what it was.
I liked what Tirico said, too, about, all the young kids watching across the country. It does wonders for a sport. And I'm hoping United States men's national team on the World Cup side, I'm hoping that they could go on a run to inspire another young generation that'll hopefully watch them have success. But, the States, we've closed in the gap on Canada, man. I understand they're the more talented team. I get what McKinnon was saying after the game, but we've really closed that gap
no doubt
over the last, I would say, 20 years.
The United States is better. It's a better functioning team. They're sort of built to play as a team where Canada is just kind of an all-star team. I think you got that feel. And P.K. Subban did say that on ESPN this morning. The thing about Canada is they were sort of lacking a little bit of an identity, and maybe they were talking about whether Connor Bedard would be involved. But the United States had an identity. It was apparent throughout. I mean, I was really pleased with what I watched yesterday, especially that third period. That third period was unbelievable.
Gutsy.
Unbelievable with all the power plays and when they drew blood on Hughes, so you get the double minor, so you get a 4-minute power play. I mean, unbelievable. The Hellebuck saves, the breakaways. You sort of felt like they were surviving to the end, and then all of a sudden you get to OT. All bets are.
What are we calling this? In 1980, it was Miracle on Ice. Don't forget about 1960 as well, the forgotten miracle, as they call it. I don't know. Do you come up with a name for something for a win like this?
I don't view this as much of a miracle because, I mean, let's be honest.
It doesn't have to be a miracle.
It was a pick'em. I mean, the game was a pick'em.
It was.
This is not David versus Goliath. I mean, like the Soviets was. But
do we label it? Do we call it something?
Yeah.
Or is it just one of those things where
First gold medal in decades, you got to do it. I don't know what I would coin it as. But you got to come up with something, I feel like. I mean, that was just the fact is they haven't done it. It makes you think. First of all, what is the NHL doing? Not sending these guys to overseas to play in these games. Why in 2018 they didn't play? I know 2022 had a lot to do with COVID, so it's hard to gauge. But 2018, I believe they didn't send them because of budget cuts, and they didn't want to. They want the players. They want to shorten the season. I know it's hard for the NHL team. I know the Panthers are not, on the short end of this stick. The fact is that they're not able. They had to, play 25 games in the last 49 days of the season coming up here. But it is the most free promotion you could ever imagine from a sport and from these players. And it's the ultimate get all eyeballs on it possible in the NHL when they've been struggling with getting people to watch in the regular season. This is going to give you that much needed boost. You sit there and think, why the heck did the NHL not let these guys go?
Yeah.
Why haven't we seen this?
And Kyle, look now the last 2 years. What we did last year, the nations, help me out.
Four nations.
Dude, tremendous success. And now you have an Olympic, the Olympics that were a success too. Let's not forget Canada almost got bounced. Dude, the semifinals were great. right?
No
I
doubt.
mean, the semifinals for Olympic hockey with Canada almost losing.
They were down to Finland in that third period. You know, the United States got put against the ropes in the quarterfinal. Yeah.
So, dude, it was competitive hockey. It was fun hockey, and I feel like, at least for this side of the hemisphere, on the with Canada and the United States, you got the two teams you wanted, and you had an incredible final which went to overtime and a teeth falling out and a golden goal. I mean, dude, hockey has had a internationally. Hockey has had a tremendous 2 years. Not even to mention down here in South Florida. All right, the Panthers have won 2 titles in a row. You had the Nations last year, and then you have this year. Dude, hockey, I'll tell you what, man, hockey around the country has had a pretty big-time year, and I think you're right, Colin. You got to capitalize with continuing to sending the professional player to play in these events.
Yeah,
on all
stupid
sides.
That they did not
on
do
all
that the last
sides.
2 Olympics.
And I'm a world football guy. I'm a soccer man. Like, dude, those guys will skip out on a game. They'll miss a game for their club to go play for their team. So I think hockey, I think they've done a good job of getting the stars to play in these international games, and it's paid the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's free promotion. It's free promotion. I mean, I'm going to shoot from the hip. I'd say 25 million people watched. 20 million people watched it yesterday morning, the Olympic final at a Sunday morning slot. If 20 plus million people watched it, it's an unbelievable success. That would be my guess. I mean, I saw videos of bars in Miami of Ohio and Oxford going absolutely ballistic at 9 in the morning after that. You know, the Boldy first goal, and even on the golden goal winner from Hughes. They're going absolutely ballistic, and it just goes to show that it's not only an easy sport to rally around, it's an easy sport to market once because the international pride is very apparent. Because there are countries that are very close to one another in terms of talent. Finland, Sweden, Canada, the United States. All these countries are very close to one another in terms of talent level, in terms of ability and how good they are in international play. So the fact is that you're able to sort of just slot it in and it be as competitive as it is. It's bizarre to me, thinking in hindsight why the NHL did not do this.
And the NHL playoffs are great, right? I mean, they year in and year out, the NHL playoffs are top tier. I mean, you can say the same thing about the NBA. But even like buddies who don't necessarily watch hockey all the time, aren't locked into the regular season, they're throwing it on in the playoffs, man, because, all hell breaks loose. And I know that could be any sport. Like, hey, when the lights are the brightest, of course these games and these players are going to get tight, and it's going to be good.
It's less predictable in the Stanley Cup.
But I'll tell you, dude, the hockey specifically, truly anything can happen. How many times it's baseball-esque in the sense of the best team in the regular season rarely wins. The President's Cup, which goes to the best team in the regular season, that team rarely wins the Stanley Cup. That's why it's fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome when that comes around again. I know the NHL is going to have a tough go at it, trying to play 25, 26 games, however many's left for these teams in that 50 days that you have from the Olympic break to the finish of the season. The Florida Panthers specifically, being as far back as they are, being 8 points out of the wild card. I mean, it's going to be a very steep uphill battle getting back into the fold of things, but. If you were to ask any American hockey fan, any hockey fan, if it was worth it, ask a Florida Panther fan if it was worth it. If you're not saying it was, even though Seth Jones did not take the ice, but Matthew Tkachuk was right there. If you're not saying that this was worth it, and that the every single time the Olympics roll around, these players should be sent and you should have an altered season. If you're not giving an unresounding yes, I have no idea what you watched yesterday. Because yes, the United States did well. I believe they had 12 gold medals in the Winter Olympics, but everybody was waiting for that men's ice hockey final. I know the women's had a great final as well against Canada themselves, but especially in an OT winner. But the United States men's Olympic being sort of that finishing push in that Winter Olympic schedule. I don't love the timing of it. Maybe it would have been better off suited if it was at noon, but 8 a.m., it didn't matter. People got up for it and people came out for it because as good of a United States represented sporting event that I can remember since that France final in basketball in 2024. And I guess that was really the last big one that we've had. But you rarely get those amazing final gold medal games, and you got that there. Very pleased. The NHL should be stoked, and I hope you really start to change your mind in terms of ever not considering sending your top players, sending your professional players overseas, wherever it may be, to go play in the Olympics.
Let's carry this momentum for the United States men's national team hockey team onto the soccer lads. Let's hope Pochettino and the lads can, gear together a big run. We need top 8. We need top 8 in the World Cup coming up. I hope we can continue to have a tremendous amount of pride for our nation. Not to mention World Baseball Classic, which I know we'll touch on later, Colin, because a certain pitcher only wanting to pitch one game.
888-760-3776. Did you enjoy what you watched? How big of a United States victory is it to you? Does it stack up better or worse than some of the other represented country, sporting events that we see in terms of World Baseball Classic, the basketball side of things? Let us know. Give us your thoughts. 888-760-3776. Well, if you're somebody like you, somebody like me, and you're watching that game yesterday, and you're like, boy, my blood pressure might be a little high here with all the intense, back and forth nature that we have in the third period and overtime. Maybe we need to get it checked out, go to Men's Only Medical to get it going. Absolutely,
Colin. And I'll tell you what's selling off the shelves with Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. It's the peptides, man. The peptides. That's all I hear of people going and visiting Doc Al and taking advantage of all of the great things at the one-stop shop men's health clinic here in West Palm Beach. The peptides just break the surface with what Doc Al does. Doc Al's my primary doctor. It's the concierge healthcare service, and it's if I got something going on, if I'm sick, if I got anything, muscle injury, I had a toe injury, I wanted Doc Al to take a look, I call his cell phone number, I call his personal number, and he's able to get me in as soon as that day. Not to mention hair loss solutions. Have Doc Al on North Dixie Highway show you the before and after pictures of some of the patients that go in and get their hair back. In so many words. Expert EKG heart tests. Basically, folks, if you got heart issues, if you got cardiovascular issues, state-of-the-art equipment Doc Al has over there to take care of you. Skin assessment. Go see what he can do for you. Visit him, mensonlymedical.com. Mensonlymedical.com. That's Doc Al on North Dixie Highway. Changing the game here for men's health in West Palm Beach.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, live here at Cacti Park for a 6:05 first pitch between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Nationals. A lot more to come right here on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Mike Rizzo here. Moving soon? Trust the pros who move the pros. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered. They've been trusted by families, businesses, and they're now the official movers of the UFC. Call the world's only total relocation company.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Right now, there may be another driver swerving in and out of lanes, tailgating others, and just won't let up on the gas. It may be stressful, but keep doing you. Because you are going the speed limit, using that blinker like a pro, and embracing the space with the driver in front of you. Nice. Let's keep our roads chill. Brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
You could follow the game on social media, or you could actually know what's happening. Miami Heat basketball is on ESPN 106.3.
Mondays just got better for the men of Palm Beach County. Unlimited Auto Wash is offering $5 off any wash every Monday at all 6 convenient locations. Men's Monday at Unlimited Auto Wash. Don't miss it.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back. With big moments, big personalities, nonstop action on the big screen. Shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
Hey, ref, timeout, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With a free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Colin man!
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Been a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. They're the type that like to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Go get the best. Go demand the best. Go to Anajar and Levine today. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. Colin, Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. 2-1 golden goal by Jack Hughes propelled them to a gold medal victory over the opposition of Canada just up north of here. And as good as he can possibly find in terms of an OT winner, a little energy, a little emphaticness because of the 3-on-3. You know it's going to be a breakaway, and that's exactly what it was. Werenski had that amazing assist and took down Nathan McKinnon that sort of opened up the lane for Jack Hughes to score that overtime winner. There's a little bit of payback for 2010 when Cindy Crosby famously, who didn't play in the gold medal game, but famously had the golden goal win in the 3-2 win over the United States in 2010. So a little payback for that. And hopefully it stirs a little bit more of a spark for hockey interest amongst the youth and maybe the increase in United States-born hockey players, because that's what happened in 1980. Now, people forget 1980, it starts this whole boom of not only United States-born hockey players, but I guess just general overall, I guess, presence throughout the 50 states, and more people started playing it. You'd think a game like tonight, like yesterday, and a moment like yesterday would spark some more of that?
For sure, and Tirico was spot on about it after the game. I mean, how many young kids were watching that across the country? How many of the fathers and wives who have a tremendous amount of pride for that team threw that on while they were making breakfast? You know, it's Sunday. Everyone was around. Everyone was home. You know, and I understand people work on Sundays, fair play. But for most, they're not. If you got kids, you're probably home on Sunday. You know what I mean? And you're cooking breakfast. You got that on in the background. I love it. I mentioned to you, I hope that the soccer team does the same thing. I hope we're able to do the same thing with the United States men's national team on the soccer side. You know, the World Baseball Classic coming up too. Whenever you put country in front of anything, there is a tremendous amount of pride there. And it rubs off on the next generation. It does. I remember that 2010 game, Kyle. You know, I 15, 14 years old watching that. I mean, and we were heartbroken. I didn't know anything about hockey. You know, I grew up in a town that had football, basketball, baseball. But guess what? The USA was on. I'm watching it. I want us to win. I'm fighting tooth and nail. I think you're right. Tirico's right, and I think kids watching that, they're going to be inspired.
Yeah,
and you're seeing a boom of it here in Florida too. I mean, you're seeing. I know a ton of parents around here. A ton of kids are playing hockey down here in South Florida. Ton of kids.
It's a regional sport, always has been a Northeast and Midwest-dominated sport. But to Mike's point, I think the one thing about that sport is winning can really serve as a catalyst to get that next generation into it. So I don't know I know it's the thing is it's one of the more least accessible sports too, because you need a rink, you need the gear, you need the time. If you're going to play professionally, you got to go through the juniors route. It's a difficult sport to go professional in because it's so specialized. But you got to imagine that moments like yesterday and future, United States dominated sporting events can do that in terms of, I guess, inspiring another generation to not only put on some skates, but to continue to build their interest in hockey. Because, yes, the United States in 1980 being the big underdog, people weren't paying attention to them at the beginning of that race, and they certainly weren't paying attention to them until after they beat the Soviets in that semifinal, because they were just such underdogs, and they got destroyed in the group play stage, 10 days prior to being the Soviets in the semifinal in 1980. They got destroyed. It was like 10-3.
Yep.
So seeing them turn around, it didn't necessarily have as much buildup as this one did. Obviously, it's not as unbelievable as 1980, but it was more, people were more anticipated for sure. Way more anticipated for sure, because everybody's under the impression that we're going to get a hell of a hockey game, and that's exactly what we got. And I do wonder, now you got to see, give it a couple of years. United States-born players, it's a Scandinavian country, a Russian-dominated sport, it's a Canadian-dominated sport. Maybe the United States can catch up a little bit.
We talked about how this could help the NHL too. Do you think that bleed-over effect is going to be as big as maybe they hope?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to hope. Stanley Cup, again, hockey will always be a regionally dominated sport. It's about who is winning and where that team is geographically located. But you got to think that, people having a little bit of more of an itch for hockey after a little bit of a pulse check like you had over the Olympics, because nothing gets people fired up, quite like representing your country. And that's exactly what you saw. So I don't know if the NHL is going to see a major push because of what you saw yesterday. But to think optimistically that there are going to be long-term effects from that specific run and from that specific game that will bleed over into the United States' interest in hockey as a youth population, I think it will.
And obviously we love our Florida Panthers, proud partner here with the ESPN West Palm. Kyle, would you rather watch an international game like that or an NHL playoff game or maybe a Stanley Cup game?
Well, here's the thing. It's a one-off. That's why it's great. You get an automatic Game 7 feel. It's a knockout stage, right? You go into the Game 2 of the Stanley Cup. You're not dead if you lose the game.
Here's my thing. With the NBA, I rather watch a finals game than – and I know it's a one-off, but I personally rather watch an NBA finals game than an international game like that. But with hockey, with hockey.
I'm surprised you got more into the NBA Finals than you would the United States-Serbia semifinal. United States versus France.
I expect dominance. If we lose,
there's no doubt about that.
Here's the thing: if we lose, then that's when all right, now we got to lock in. Remember, like the 08 team, the Redeem team. I keep on forgetting when I was born. 14. Sorry, I was 16 when that hockey. 14 when the Redeem team, Chris Paul, LeBron, and company.
The Redeem team was 08 because they lost in 04.
Kobe
they lost in 04
and Kobe taking over in the final against Spain. That's why that was must-watch TV, because in 04 in Greece, it was a disgrace. We lost to Puerto Rico. Allen Iverson and Vince Carter lost to Puerto Rico. That's why 08 and all that was so great. But like now,
you'd rather watch an NBA final.
I rather watch.
That's ridiculous.
But the standard, because the standard is there.
Well, the standard is there, but you get great basketball. The standard is there. You get great basketball. I like the FIBA rules. I like the defense rules. I like the 10-minute quarters. I think the defense is a little harder. And I also think you're playing. Yeah, you're right. That's the all-star team versus team basketball. I know the United States were pretty good at that, but it was star power that triumphed them in that game.
But like here. And I'm happy you pressed me on it, because with how I think great the men's team has done on the basketball side, it's kind of like, all right, we show up and expect to win. A little bit of what Canada had yesterday. All right, we're Canada, we're going to win, and that's that. Until something crazy again happens. And listen, with LeBron on the outs, with Curry on the outs, and the NBA athlete, who knows? All right, we might be bamboozled the next time the Olympics comes around, and then all of a sudden we're all back in it again. But it's interesting to me, because diehard hockey fans, I feel like, NHL playoffs, no doubt. But for a moderate fan like me, I rather
NHL fan would rather watch yesterday.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because how often do you get a one-off where every NHL fan is you're rooting with the guy next to you? It's not Wild versus Panther. It's not
I just feel like the true hockey fan is like we're hockey people. We love the NHL. For someone like me who tunes in every now and then and isn't necessarily the biggest hockey guy.
You make an argument that's the highest level of hockey that you could find was yesterday.
Maybe. Here's the thing. Like World Cup, oh God, I rather that's the greatest thing. For me,
because it's the
that's
highest
the greatest
level,
thing
it's
ever.
the highest level of the
The
sport.
World Cup's the greatest thing ever. But
it's the highest level of the sport.
Champions League is a lot of fun, especially when your teams are in it.
Yeah, but the World Cup it doesn't even pale in comparison to what the World Cup draws because it's the highest level.
Yeah.
And it's knockout stage. It's one-offs. That makes it great. I'm the same thing with basketball. A gold medal game. Yes, sometimes they're not that interesting, but that United States-France game, in that final, the gold medal game, even the Serbian game when they were down 13 in the third quarter, all of that. I mean, that's as good as it gets in my personal opinion.
It's interesting, and I'm interested, man. If there's anyone out there, 888-760-3776. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong there. Maybe I am. Maybe the NBA, maybe our men's team on the NBA side. Once they stub their toe, God forbid, I hope they don't. I hope they never. I hope we win the gold every year. But maybe I could get, more into something like that than a final game. But definitely on the hockey side and what I watched yesterday, man, I was very fired up.
I mean, another thing I would add to this is if you're thinking about it from the perspective of, all right, well, we'd like to see the top players in their respective sports play meaningful, do-or-die, playoff environment games. At basketball, you get a lot of guys like that. Devin Booker, played an NBA final once. Joel Embiid never made it to the conference finals. And they're playing in games like that. LeBron, Durant, Curry have all been there, but there are a lot of major players who haven't been on winning teams that have been in major environments, playoff game sevens. You don't see a lot of guys like that. I think hockey, you can make the same argument. The Jack Hughes of the world, he was young. The Quinn Hughes of the world, they don't get a ton of opportunity with Minnesota and New Jersey, for their examples, to get in that environment. I know Winnipeg, Connor Hellebuck in that spot. Jordan Binnington, that's the biggest game Jordan Binnington is ever going to play. And he's on the Blues, who stink, and he's not even having a great year. But the second he dons that red and black, all of a sudden he's ready to rock and roll. So I do think that you don't see a lot of these guys in positions to play in a game like this with their respective teams. So because of that, I do think it's the sport at its highest level.
Now, I think a lot of it has to do if your team's in it, right, for the casual fan. Like the casual fan wouldn't watch the final if the USA wasn't in it. The casual fan wouldn't watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
And the only sport that's like that, like the World Cup for me is a one-off because, Team USA that's the one sport where we're like, they're not the best team. Basketball, they're the best team. I know they lost baseball to Japan, and fair play to Japan. All right, they had a great team. I could argue we didn't have any pitchers of why we lost. Neither here nor there. I think baseball were the best team. Listen, I know Canada technically on paper, but we won, so I'm going to call us the best in that. Now, like I feel like soccer and the World Cup is that one-off where you're not the best team.
The United States never even been there. That's the problem. In the United States,
they've never been to a Cup final. That's
right.
the issue.
So
never been one of the four teams.
You're comparing oranges to apples. This is, yes, the United States dominated sports, but we have never seen the United States in these environments. They don't hold a candle.
And that's why I'm the one-off, right? That I love the World Cup so much that I watch every game no matter what. Like, I know the average fan isn't like that.
What point are you trying to prove here? Are you saying that people don't want to watch it because the United States is not representative?
I'm saying you're interested in these games because your country is in it.
Right.
People weren't watching that godforsaken final if the USA team weren't in it.
Okay.
So and it goes back to the point of I'd rather watch an NBA final game than Finland versus whoever it may be in the FIBA game.
Hold on. You started this off with I would rather watch the NBA final than the Gold Cup game or the gold winning the gold medal.
I'm just saying internationally in general.
The United States was in
it. I'm just saying international games in general. I think, and it goes back to the point of what I said about NHL hockey crazy fans. They rather watch the NHL playoffs than
I don't think so.
Than this. Okay.
Why would an NHL fan say that? Because you can make the argument that the NHL fan is not going to be in tune to Tampa Bay, Florida, the first round, or. I
just think it has a lot to do if your country's in it. and if your country's if they're good in the tournament.
Well, no doubt, but they were in it. That's why it's the sport at the highest level, because it encapsulates an entire 350 million person country. In some capacity, as in terms of sports fans. I understand what you're saying. If Slovakia knocked off the United States and all of a sudden we're looking at Slovakia versus Canada, the game's not as big. But, I mean, you're comparing it in a hypothetical. For what it was, that is as big as hockey is going to get for the foreseeable future. Not even a question. You compare it to a Game 7 in the NHL of the Stanley Cup Final. You think a Stanley Cup Finals holding a candle to what they were able to accomplish yesterday in mid-February at 8 a.m. on NBC?
I think it had the correct players in it. It had the correct cast members in it. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. It had the correct game in it. If that was Finland and Sweden, I don't know if we would be, we would be having the same conversation.
Yeah, the two Americans would, if Finland and Canada or whatever, if Slovakia and Canada were in the Gold Cup, the gold medal game, we would not care as much. I would agree with that. But I don't think that proves your point in terms of what you're saying about whether you're interested more in the Stanley Cup comparatively to international play in which the United States plays in. I don't think anything to hold a candle. I mean, think about it. You said they captured the casual fan. A lot of the casual fan doesn't tune into Stanley Cup final, right? They don't. Game 6 of Edmonton, Florida Panther was not, it wasn't jazzing the random guy in Oxford, Ohio, selling out that bar at 8 in the morning.
It just has to be the right matchup. It's got to be the right matchup, I guess, if I could rephrase. It's got to be the right matchup on the international side to get people hooked.
Yeah, it's got to have the United States.
The World Cup is the one-off worldwide where it's bigger than any of those tournaments. The World Cup's bigger than what we saw in the Olympics. The World Cup's bigger than...
Who is making the argument that the World Cup held to Canada or the Milan 2026 Winter Olympics? Nobody's making that argument. World Cup's the biggest event in sports. I don't think anybody is denying that.
But that's the... This goes back to the argument of leagues and what you rather watch. Obviously, we rather watch the World Cup because if you're a soccer fan, that's it, man. That's the competition. I don't think Olympic. I just think with the NHL and things like that, the Stanley Cup and stuff. I feel like the uber hockey fan might watch that. I don't know. It looks like we're never going to see eye to eye on this.
I know, but I don't. Why would the uber hockey fan be more interested in the Stanley Cup final with potentially teams they're not interested in, comparatively to a United States gold medal game against Canada?
Mike, you're not wrong here. Mike, you're not wrong here because you have a dedicated hockey fan that watches 82 games this season invested, and then they get the playoffs versus this Olympics.
You're talking about the specific fan. You're talking about the specific Florida Panther fan that watches every game comparatively to the uber hockey fan.
Yes,
there's a huge Winnipeg Jets fan. You guys are way off on this one.
No, maybe I guess the point I'm trying to – you're misunderstanding the point I'm trying to make. The only reason that game was big was because of those two teams in it. If it was Sweden and Finland, no one would care, and no one would even be talking about it. That's why I think the uber hockey fan is more interested in an NHL playoff cup run than the Olympics because you're not going to get that every single time.
It's not the reality. What are you even talking about? It's not what happened. So why would we talk about a hypothetical if it was Slovakia versus Canada when it wasn't the case? Yeah, it wasn't the case. Bottom line, point blank period, wasn't it? And it was the first time the NHL players have performed in this event since 2014.
I am saying uber soccer fans are watching the World Cup no matter what, no matter who's in it, no matter who is in the final, and no matter who is in the cup. That's why, and it goes back to the argument of what would you rather watch, league play or international play? I think soccer international play clears everything worldwide.
I would make the argument that outside of the World Baseball Classic, which doesn't have the same jazz as the MLB postseason, because it's at the beginning of the year, it's timing-wise, it doesn't always make that much sense. I would make the argument that all three of the other ones, as in hockey and basketball, I think the international play triumphs the game, the 7-game series of the NBA with finals and stuff like that. That's how I view it. And soccer's usually a one-off sport. It's usually group play. You play in a final. The NHL is a 7-game series. You got 7 games you need to play. You need to win 4 of them. Same thing with the NBA. I mean, baseball is the same exact way. Having a one-off is much more of an event that encapsulates every single fan possible. You tell me the Uber fan would rather watch, Florida Panthers Edmonton Game 6 comparatively to watching United States Canada on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock on NBC? I think you guys are crazy. I don't care if you're an Uber hockey fan or not. If you're a Florida Panther fan, yeah, maybe you'll sign up for a Florida Panther Stanley Cup victory. Yeah, I could listen to that. But I mean, to sit here and say that they would rather see, because I'm a huge Ranger fan, and therefore I am more into Edmonton versus Florida because I love the NHL. All the NHL players are playing in that. Both sides are littered with NHL talent. Not only that, they're littered with top NHL talent.
I think you're missing the point. You're missing the point, and I think the Uber fan rather watch a playoff matchup than an international matchup unless it's an Uber Goliath game.
I'd love to, unless it. Yeah, I mean, obviously they want to have a skin in the game. They have skin in the game watching an NHL game. Fine. But, I mean, to say that it even holds a candle, I mean, I'm curious to see Jonathan Zaslow's perspective on this. I think you both are way off on this. I mean, let's wait till the rating comes out, and then we'll have a discussion.
The rating is a rating because of USA and Canada. You're missing the point. You're completely missing the point.
Missing what point?
I'd rather watch a playoff game. Listen,
you know what?
I'm not an NHL guy. I'd rather watch an NBA playoff game than a FIBA game. I'd rather watch.
You'd rather watch Oklahoma City Pacers game 7.
That's Slovakia and France.
The United States France gold medal game. You're telling me that.
But that's
that United States France game was one of the most memorable basketball games that ever been played.
I don't think we're on the same wavelengths.
Well, you're talking about random countries.
I have a rooting interest. It's the USA. I have a rooting interest.
Do you have a rooting interest in Pacers Thunder?
No, but it's the NBA playoffs. I have a rooting interest with the USA.
Good. And the United States is always in it.
But what I'm saying is if it's France and Czechoslovakia.
Well, it's not. It wasn't.
Oh, okay. I'll check the box score.
What are you talking? It wasn't. The United States and Canada's always in this. They're going to play every single year.
Colin,
in the 4 nations.
I'd rather watch when you put them together.
Talking about
when you put them together.
Mike Rizzo, I did not watch the Olympics in the hockey because the United States was not represented.
The only reason I watched the Olympic hockey was because we were all the way into the final and won a gold medal. If we got knocked out in the quarterfinal, I wouldn't watch a second.
I do not understand.
Rooting interest.
Yeah, I understand. There's
I'd
make an argument. You watched more hockey what you did yesterday than you did in the Stanley Cup. Am I wrong?
No. The Panthers were in it.
Did you? Okay.
The Panthers were
in it. I mean, geez. All I'm saying.
There was a rooting interest.
I mean, I don't understand what you're trying to get at. I mean, the uber-interested NHL fan, 100 times out of 100, would rather watch the United States win a gold medal for the first time since 1980. Since 1980. And the first time they played Canada in a gold medal game since 2010. They lost the semifinal in 14. The first time they've done that in 16 years. You telling me the Uber fan would care about the Stanley Cup playoff, which is every single year? Nonsense.
It's not. We need to go to break. We're not on this.
That's the point you're trying to make.
No, the point you're trying to make is I'd rather watch an average NBA playoff final game than an average FIBA game. I have a rooting interest for the USA. I have a rooting interest for the Cavs.
Because the FIBA players are generally not made up of a ton of NBA players, and you can make the same argument about a lot of different, random assortment of countries if you want to choose 3 random ones and see if you'd rather be interested in watching them. You can say that, fine. I can listen to that. But I do not understand the point of view in the hypothetical that the United States is not representative. Obviously, the United States was here. That's what we need to know. They're there in basketball. They're going to be there in hockey every single go-round. That's all you need to know. Live here at Cacti Park, of course, where you're going to have the Philadelphia Phillies warming up right now, taking the field for a 6:05 first pitch against the Washington Nationals. Going to see some top-tier talent on both sides go head-to-head, and it's right here at Cacti Park. It's the place to be all baseball season. Cats, the Astros, and the Nationals take on teams like the Cardinals, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies. Even Team Venezuela is going to be here in about a week and a half. You can watch it right here. Nothing beats a day at Cacti. That's sunshine, the crack of the bat, cold drinks, and amazing ballpark eats. It's the best seat in baseball. Spring training runs now through March 22nd. Tickets are selling fast. Cacti Park is bringing back all their fan favorite promotions. Fireworks night, college night, happy hour games, Bark in the Park. Bring the family, go get a 4-for-4 pack with 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips. Visit cactipark.com to lock in your seats. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Do not miss a moment. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. We'll take a time out here. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
And 106.3.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Banyan Printing, your trusted partner for all your printing and signage needs. With 48 years of local service, over 1,000 customers choose Banyan for fast turnaround, free delivery, consistent results, and market-leading customer service. Banyan's all-in-one solution saves businesses time and resources. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they eliminate the hassle of multiple vendors. If you're unsure you're getting the best service or value, visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Want to play college football? Register today for the free Orange Bowl Florida High School Football Showcase presented by Baptist Health. Hit the gridiron on Saturday, February 28th at St. Thomas University in Miami Gardens and show off your football skills in front of coaches from across the country for a chance to earn scholarships for college. The event is open to high school juniors and seniors. More than $1 million is awarded each year. Register for free today at orangebowl.org.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
The best athletes in the world will compete for the gold, but here in South Florida, you can get the gold. Plan, that is, from EDS Air Conditioning. EDS is yes. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. With the EDS Gold Plan, you get numerous benefits, including 2 yearly tune-ups to keep your AC unit world class. Make your family and your nation proud with the Gold Plan from EDS Air Conditioning. EDS is yes. EDSAirconditioning.com.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Bet on any of the action here throughout the baseball season. You want to bet on some Olympic action, NBA, NCAA, all that action is on the Hard Rock Bet app, which you can download today.
Absolutely. And Colin had to pump the brakes on me for a little bit because, we still got folks, spring training's just underway. We still got about a month until the MLB season is underway, but I am itching to get those future bets. And what do you mean by future bets? Listen, I've made for 5 straight years, I've made money on my team, the Guardians over-under win total. 1 year, they were under, but the last 4 years, they have hit that over every single year. It's one of my favorite things to do. And Colin loves doing it too. Colin and I, we're going to be putting together our future bets here within the next couple weeks as baseball season is almost underway. But I'll tell you what, a lot of my buddies here in South Florida, they had a ton of fun gambling on the hockey with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet, a ton of fun gambling on all of the Team USA action that happened in the Olympics. And Hard Rock Bet is the one-stop shop, folks, because it's the only legal sports book here in South Florida. For the snowbirds, and then listen, there are a lot of, with the traffic that I've been running into here, down here in South Florida, there are a lot of snowbirds here in West Palm Beach. And if you are one of those snowbirds, Download the app, deposit $5, because if you bet that $5 on whatever it may be, game, and you win, you're going to get $100 instantly in bonus bets. That's Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you are a friend or concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. And not to mention, too, it's almost Colin's favorite time of the year in March Madness. We got the conference tournaments almost here, early March almost here. So your one-stop shop for college basketball betting, too, Hard Rock Bet.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida. So, to put a cap on it, your argument, and I'm going to put a cap on it because I'm now further understanding what you're saying. You're talking about random international hockey game with non-United States participants, and hockey fans would get more into a random Stanley Cup playoff game amongst NHL teams.
Yeah, and even throw like a playoff matchup, and that was the only point I was trying to make. I think obviously when your country is in it, you're all in. Like me yesterday, I wouldn't have watched that final if the United States wasn't in it. And then I think that the point I was trying to make is the uber hockey fan would rather watch a one-off NHL Cup playoff run game than a one-off international game. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
There's no one-off NHL playoff. It's the best-of-7 series. So I guess maybe you're talking about a Game 7. I could listen to that. But, I mean, my perspective...
Win or go home. How about that?
Win or go home. Yesterday, it's the biggest hockey game since 2010 for the United States and for United States hockey fans. Biggest hockey game since 2010. Not even a question.
I would agree with
16 years. And it was one of the biggest, in 2010 is the one where the United States didn't win. But, they played Canada in the semifinal then, and then it was, not NHL players participating in 2018 and 22. But it was the biggest one, and even 2002, 2010, or even back to 1980. So that would be my cap on it. Is international. It is the biggest way to increase the importance of a sporting event. Not every sport has nailed it, but international play will always be the biggest level, biggest stage, because all these sports are star-driven. And you want to see the best players play. This star player, the Joel Embiids of the world is never going to reach an NBA final. We're never going to see him in that spot. Health or his team's not good enough. And then all of a sudden you turn around and he's doing it in the Olympics, in the Summer Olympics 2024. You get to see a lot of guys in playoff environments that some guys go their entire career without getting a real taste of it. In hockey, baseball is another one. Mike Trout against Shohei Ohtani, the last at bat in the World Baseball Classic. Why was that interesting? Because Mike Trout is never in the postseason. Why would it be a huge in the World Baseball Classic final to see Aaron Judge potentially in another huge game? The Yankees are not going to be in the World Series every single year. You don't get to see a guy like him perform at the top. The same argument went for Shohei Ohtani before he went to the Dodgers. That's why I think international play is sometimes at its best, because you're seeing some of the top guys play do or die team basketball. They have to change up their styles, teams. You have the best coach in the sport usually that is donning each side. I think it's amazing. I really do. And I think we were very pleased with what we saw over the weekend. Speaking of that weekend, the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational coming up in just about 2 weeks with all the Pro Football Hall of Famers that are going to be right down there at Broken Sound playing some golf with some legends of the golf game. Let's figure out who our Legends of the Weekend is.
Warning, this segment is not for casual fans. If you seek the average,
the second highest scoring tie game in NFL history,
tolerate the mediocre,
each team got a field goal. All right, that's it. No more.
Or celebrate good enough.
Sometimes you're just happy to be invited to the party.
Yeah. This is not for you.
40-40.
We deal exclusively in dominance.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
Greatness.
Terrell Davis is the first man in Super Bowl history to rush for 3 touchdowns.
And history.
That's intercepted. Nobody's going to touch him. Ronnie Barber, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Welcome to Legends of the Weekend, presented by the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational, where the legends of golf meet the legends of football. Get your tickets today at jameshardyinvitational.com.
Oh, man, the list gets more elite by the minute in terms of those who will be at the iconic old course at Broken Sound in Boca Raton for the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. It's returning March 6th through the 8th. Not this weekend, but next weekend. We're talking Dwight Freeney We're talking Terrell Davis. You heard his highlights there on the Open. Brian Urlacher, John Randall, Megatron. Those are the Pro Football Hall of Famers that are going to take to the links, paired with some PGA Tour champions, legends like Ernie Els, Darren Clark, and two-time major champion Zach Johnson making his PGA Champions Tour debut. Tickets starting at just $36 per day. JamesHardyInvitational.com to get your tickets. James, H-A-R-D-I-E, Invitational.com. This is the type of the day where you tell who was the legend of the weekend, who's getting that prestigious award. And you know what? I'm going to leave any men's hockey stuff to the fellows Russo and Rizzo. And instead, I'm going to go to the hardwood down the street on the flagship campus of Kaiser University. How about the Kaiser men's basketball team? They are the co-champions in the Sun Conference. They will host the Sun Conference tournament coming up this weekend. They are the number 9 team in the nation in NAIA. A lot's to be told about the other athletic programs around Kaiser University. They've got 27 national championships for a reason, and maybe, just maybe, they are the next step on the way to winning a basketball natty. Who do you got, guys?
I'm going to go into – you could go in 100 different directions with what you saw yesterday. I'm going to give it to Zach Orensky, who currently plays for Columbus, who made the play before the play, if you will, with that assist to Jack Hughes in the overtime winner in the golden goal. Not only did he make an unbelievable play in getting that puck out in space, but he also laid out a check right on McKinnon there to clear the area. And it was really the unheralded play of the entire sequence. I'm going to give it to him as my legend of the weekend because it's another example of somebody who plays for Columbus. Columbus is not always, postseason contenders. So because of that, it's interesting to see him in that type of environment making a play like that. That is fascinating to me. So Zach Orensky will be my guy.
Boys, I'm going to go a completely different direction. As you guys know, I'm the voice of Inter Miami Heron football, and I was expecting a different result than what actually transpired on the field. Our Herons lost 3-0 to LAFC at the Coliseum. By the way, 75,000 people showed up to the Coliseum for that game. But I got to go with Denny Bouanga. He's a left winger for LAFC. He ran Ian Frey off of the pitch. And, folks, to get subbed off at halftime and not sniff the pitch in the second half, that's how you know you're kind of having a howler of the game. And then the new sub, Facundo Moro, who's a great player, new transfer. I think he's going to be great for Inter Miami. Bouanga took him one-on-one the entire game and had a goal and an assist in the second half. It's got to be Denny Bouanga for me from LAFC, who were able to dominate our Herons over the weekend.
That was your Legends of the Weekend right there with ESPN 106.3, Christian Cat, Colin Russo, and Mike Rizzo. Of course, if you missed any of the program today, go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. And if you're making a little extra quick buck this weekend, if you bet LAFC or if you bet the United States to take gold over Canada, you can put your money away over at Flagler Credit Union.
Absolutely, folks. Flagler, that local name, we all know it, Flagler Credit Union. If you need to take money out, if you need to get a home improvement, if you need to get that brand new car, your car breaks down and you need a new car, if you need to borrow some money, think of my good friends over at Flagler, because they're a non-for-profit cooperative, which means they will charge less when you need to borrow that money for whatever it may be. You all got kids in college. You all got kids at that expensive high school. If you need fast cash, think of my good friends at Flagler. They also offer business and personal checking accounts. I have a personal checking account with Flagler. I needed a bank when I moved down here in South Florida, and I went with that local name that we can all trust. I got Adam and Brad from Flagler coming on down tomorrow. Courtney Rukoff and I, one of our marketing facilitators, we're going to be getting lunch with our boys from Flagler tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Don't forget, too, they're also the official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics. You can open up an account at one of their 4 locations across Palm Beach County: Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. You get more information, too, flaglercu.org. It's flaglercu.org. Looking forward to seeing Brad and Adam coming up tomorrow.
We'll do a little 5 and 5 on the other side of things. Live here from Cacti Park. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches is underway at PGA National Resort and Spa. Come see stars like Brooks Koepka, Shane Lowry, Sahith Theegala, Adam Scott, and Tom Kim take on the iconic Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf. Bring the whole family. 2 kids get in free with a ticketed adult. Enjoy fan activations, local food vendors, signature cocktails, and upgraded experiences like the CIB ABC Champions Club. Tickets are still available through March 1st at thecognizantclassic.com.
We're proud of our parents.
Want to know why?
Because they work for the school district of Palm Beach County.
There's lots of great jobs with paid vacation, holidays off, healthcare, and retirement.
You can be in the same schedule as your kids.
Come work at the school district of Palm Beach County. You'll see why it's your best choice.
Join us at the Team Palm Beach Schools Job Fair. Register at palmbeachschools.org/job fair. That's palmbeachschools.org/job fair.
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet, the home of Inter Miami, the Florida Panthers, and the Miami Heat, with all of the biggest live events in sports. If it's happening in sports, it's happening right here on ESPN 1063, South Florida's home for sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Whoa, not that water. You need Culligan water. With a free water test and advanced reverse osmosis purification system, Culligan helps reduce contaminants, delivering cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Enjoy 12 months interest-free. Schedule your free test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida, residential or commercial.
Hey, Colin
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
It's the 5 p.m. hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. We got Christian Cat. A little bit of a chilly afternoon here, early evening at Cacti Park here at the Palm Beaches, right here in West Palm Beach. We're going to have the Philadelphia Phillies. A lot of Philly fans in town. A lot of Bryce Harper jerseys. A lot of Schwarber jerseys. A lot of showing out from the Philadelphia faithful here as you get a 6:05 first pitch. You're going to see a couple starters play on the side of the Phillies and also a couple starters play on the side of the Nationals. Spring training is here, right here at Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches. We got Christian Cat helping us out behind the glass at the City Place Studios. Christian, welcome in. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic, fellas. Had an adventurous morning featuring a dead car battery at the airport, a canceled flight, but I made it here, and I made it here with a smile.
How'd you get here?
I had to spend $125 on someone to jump the car, and then I drove up.
You spent $125 for somebody to jump the car? Do you have you don't have a service or something like that?
You know, my grandma used to give me like platinum roadside service membership for my birthday every year, and then she just stopped doing it 2 years ago, and now I got burned.
Christian, that is a grandmother thing, because my grandma Carol,
Yeah.
I am a platinum member, and I've been a member for 17 years, mate. How about that? How about that?
Will you find yourself getting that membership now?
I might like give her a phone call tonight and just passively bring it up and be like, hey, you wouldn't believe what happened today, and maybe I'll guilt her into another year of it.
Oh, so you're not gonna do it yourself.
I'll let her get to that conclusion.
Yeah. Hey, I apologize, boys. 16 years,
Okay.
2011. Christian, you should have called me. I would have sent the car to you.
You think it works that way? You
Probably.
can do it on behalf of somebody?
Probably.
I don't think it does.
Probably. I'd send a car to you.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think the guy would ask for ID. I think he would.
I feel like I was told $125, not a bad deal. Like, I didn't get raked over the coals, because that guy could have charged me anything. The thing is, I made the mistake. I was so frustrated, so flustered. I was stranded down in Fort Lauderdale, so it wasn't like I was at home and can call somebody to help me out. Anybody I asked would have to greatly go out of their way to fix it, or, you know, maybe the guy I produced for, Theo Dorsey, who was on the same garage the same time of day, but I forgot that he flew in that morning.
Oh.
But that guy could have charged me $400, and he already did it, so I would have been stuck. So
Theo was in there. Did Theo have jumper cables?
Theo does have jumper cables.
Oh, my God. You got burned.
Yeah,
Theo landed at Fort Lauderdale Airport at 10:55. I landed at 10:54.
Oh, Christian.
Wow.
Come on, mate.
I know.
Come on, man.
I sent the picture to the show group chat at like 11:25, and I already called the guy coming to pick me up. Had to walk him through how to get to the garage and where I am on the garage. So $125 later, and now I'll have to go get my battery fixed somewhere right after we get off the air at 7 o'clock today. Yeah. So I'm, you know.
You're going through it.
Yeah.
My buddies, we got to sing. You're going through it. All right.
Wow.
Fair play.
All right. 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Let's get to it.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Well, of course, the big news of yesterday in sports was the United States men's national soccer team winning it all, winning gold in the Winter Olympics over Canada in overtime. Golden goal from Jack Hughes, 2-1. But not everybody thinks it's black and white, cut and dry, who the better team was yesterday in Milan. Just ask Canada's very own Stanley Cup champion, Nathan McKinnon. He told the Canadian Press's Joshua Clipperton that, quote, "You be the judge of who was the better team today," insinuating that Canada was the better team, but United States got a little bit lucky. Do you take issue with McKinnon kind of showing his sour grapes right after the loss?
You know, it kind of stinks because he's the one who kind of blew the game in that miss in the 10 minutes to go in the third period. It's a little rich coming, maybe right message, wrong messenger, to be completely honest with you. Because, yes, that quote specifically does look a little sore. And it looks like he's, not playing fair game. But, the one thing he said is right before that, if you want to take that whole quote out of context, his quote, "It's been close for a while. They're an amazing, skilled group of players. I felt like it wasn't going to be. You can't be you guys can be the judge on who the better team was, but they won, we lost." Sounds a lot better when you phrase it that way, comparatively. But it's the wrong guy, because he's the one who he got pounded with that miss. Yeah, it kind of cost him the game in a lot of ways. They score that with 10 minutes to go. That's a much different game, and chances are Canada wins it, because the United States in a 5-on-5 full strength they couldn't get anything going because Canada's offense was just too overpowered. I'm not going to say United States was fortunate. You got to score goals to win the game. United States had a better goaltender, and that's the reason they won. I'm not going to say they got, lucky, but, they were fortunate that it was a 3v3 overtime, and they were fortunate that Hellebuck put together one of the games of his life.
Yeah. Canada's hockey shtick. So, if they're a little sour grapes after losing at their own sport, then, fair play to them. I'm not going to sit here and harp them for it. I'd be the same way if we lost basketball. I'd be the same way, and I was, by the way, in 2023 when we lost the World Baseball Classic. I was very upset on my radio program I was doing back then. So, yeah, listen, it's their, like I said, it's their sport. It's their shtick. They have every right to be upset. Every right.
Number 2.
Hey, you guys are at the ballpark right now winding up Major League Baseball spring training, but one New York baseball star already has eyes for the end of regular season awards. Juan Soto with the New York Mets says, I'm going to be there every year too, regarding the National League MVP race. So he better keep doing what he's doing, referring to Shohei Ohtani, because I am coming. Do you guys have any guess what the odds are currently preseason for National League MVP?
In terms of all
Soto?
the players or Soto specifically?
Who the favorite is, what Soto's at, general feel.
I mean, Ohtani's definitely the heavy favorite. I don't know what type of odds I'd give it. What we think, plus 210? Maybe?
For
is that
Soto?
crazy? No, for Shohei.
Oh.
You think he's a heavy? I think it's too early to put it like it's got to be plus odds for everybody.
Yeah, it definitely no minus odds on anybody for that award. My best guess for Soto, if I had to do him strictly, Kyle, probably plus 600, plus 550, plus 600. Dude,
So you're not that far off.
Yeah.
With Soto's evaluation, Shohei Ohtani is a minus 120
Wow,
to win
I'm
National
surprised
League
by that.
MVP.
I'm surprised by that.
I'm sorry. I'm spreading misinformation.
You got to imagine that. Minus odds to win an MVP before the season even starts.
It's not even worth it. That's not worth it, by the way.
absurd.
For all you get, for all the gamblers out there.
Is
do
he
not
the
bet
second
that.
best odds?
Juan Soto is the second favorite. He's
That's
at
fair.
plus 1 or plus 800.
Okay.
And then Ronald Acuna, Fernando Tatis, we're up on third and fourth at plus 1,200, plus 1,500.
Tatis.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Soto has to be second. Soto put together an MVP level season. He did.
Dude, it was, and how about
very quietly had 40 homers, 40 bags.
And let's remember, Met fan was complaining about Juan Soto and
well,
how
he was bad for the first.
Come on.
And the thing is, he was terrible for May and April, and then he turned it up, and he still put together that type of season. I mean, yeah.
43 home runs, 105 RBIs. Great wall break too, Christian. Big Soto fan.
Do you have any problem at Juan Soto talking about individual awards in spring training, even when he's prompted?
I don't care.
That's what the New York fans looking for, right?
He wants to win.
Obviously they want to win, but he can't just go out and say we're going to win. That's a team individual.
Well, and to your point, that's a good point, Colin.
They want MVPs. Hey, you're paying you $800 million. You better win some MVPs.
And let's remember too how the Mets got bounced last year, losing to our Marlins. Right? I mean, they couldn't win 2 games out of 3 against the Miami Marlins to end the season last year. So there's been a bitter taste in that Met fan mouth for a long, long time. Now, listen, people will disagree with me. I thought they had a great free agency. I know they got rid of Pete Alonso, but I thought they brought a lot of great players in. I like the Bichette signing. Listen, I think the Mets are going to be great next year. I do. I did think they were going to be good last year, and to be fair, they put together a pretty decent record. The issue was there's just a lot of good teams within the NL.
Number 3.
Let's stay in baseball because, Colin, you talk about how Cacti Park's going to have Team Venezuela there eventually. And why is that? Well, the World Baseball Classic is just around the corner. And you might think, after watching Team USA beat Canada in overtime, over 20 million people watching on Sunday morning, that these baseball players are going to be overly patriotic and want to play for their country. Well, kinda. Probably the best pitcher in baseball, Tarek Skubal, is going to have his time at the World Baseball Classic pretty short-lived. The reigning AL Cy Young Award winner said that he will make just one start for Team USA at the WBC before returning to spring camp with the Tigers. He said he's going to try to do both things, but I understand I need to get ready for my team. Do you have a problem with Skubal bouncing after one start for Team USA?
Yeah, I may have a major problem with this. Does this not have Scott Boras written all over it? Let's be honest for a second. Does this not have Scott Boras, who is Skubal's agent, written all over it? This is Boras going to him and say, I can't have you play 4 random games, through the World Baseball Classic, pitching 3 or 4 times. I can't have that because all of a sudden, every time you pitch without getting financially compensated, gives any other team more leverage, or the team of the Tigers more leverage. Nonsense. Please. After what you saw yesterday, I mean, this guy, World Baseball, you got all the stars that are going to be doing this. You want to give them the group stage? We don't need you for the group stage. We need you for the knockout run. We don't need you for the group stage.
I tell him to stay home. To that point, Colin.
We got Skeens there. Skeens going to pitch out 500 times in that 3 weeks. I mean, geez, that's the stupidest thing ever. That Tarek Skubal thinks, he's higher than mighty. They can just show up, and then he can just show up in the dugout. I mean, geez.
Brother, I give you credit. I didn't even think of Boris. It 100% is
it's
that.
Boris.
It's not even up for debate. It's a contract here, Christian. Keep in mind, Skubal free agent at the end of this year.
Being ready for the Tigers opening day, please.
And Skubal already got $30 million in arbitration this year. All right. I think Boris said you're not getting hurt at that tournament.
You're going to pitch the least amount you possibly can for them to prop up a trade at the deadline.
So let me get this straight, Christian. Skubal's going to have 25 strikeouts against Curacao in the group stage and then go back to spring training? Dude, just stay. We don't need you for one group stage game. Mark DeRosa, who by the way, I love. Great guy, Mark DeRosa, all right? He's the manager for Team USA again. If I'm DeRosa, I'm telling him to stay home.
Yeah, it's a little phony.
Stay wherever you are.
Phony. It's a little phony. It's hard to take him seriously when Tarek Skubal can sit there and say, I'll be there for one group stage game, some random game that nobody cares about. But all of a sudden we get to knockout stage. We need a big-time pitcher going against Yamamoto in Japan, and we need our best guy. I know Skeens is right there, so fine. But, I mean, having 2-3 guys changes your whole complexion of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm down. It's a little – we're too worried about your contract. Oh, what a waste of time. You're too worried about your contract. And at a certain point, if you don't want to pull an Edwin Diaz who got hurt, popping his leg on the mound 2 years ago in the last World Baseball Classic, if you don't want something like that to happen, listen, I can understand that. Then don't show up. Why even show up? Yeah. If you're a self-respecting player, what are you going to show up just for a batting practice? Yeah, imagine if Aaron Judge said that.
Oh, God, it'd be the end of the world. It'd be the end of the world.
It'd be the end of the world. Gerald Judge said, I want to get ready for the Yankee season. This is a big season for the New York Yankees. I'll play in a couple group stage games, but because, I got hip tightness, I got to make sure I preserve my body for the season. If he does that, he is getting crucified by the fans of the Yankees and the fans of the American team in the World Baseball Classic. I can't listen to this.
It's a bad look.
There is no other argument that I am trying to get paid. That's all.
Number 5.
Miserable look.
And to wrap things up at the 5 at 5, brought to you by Flagler Credit Union. Colin, you were preaching to the holy power for everybody in the world to watch college basketball over the weekend, where we had a pseudo Final Four. Yeah, number 4, Arizona beat number 2, Houston, 73-66. And then the main event of the evening, the Michigan Wolverines went into Cameron Indoor, and the number 1 team in the nation went down. The number 3 Dukies beat them 68-63. If you watched, what did you see? If you didn't, what did you miss from that twin bill of heavy hitters in college basketball Saturday?
Duke's freaking good. Duke's really good. Duke could definitely win it all. I think I was on that page, but they needed that marquee win. I know they got North Carolina coming up here in just about a week. So they're going to be thinking about that. But, Duke knocking off Michigan. Think about it. People are down on that Boozer, who's going to go top 3 in the draft, Cam Boozer. And, yeah, that's the best front court in the country. The guy had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, shooting 7 to 10 from the field.
Now, Colin, God forbid, my dad never listens, but apparently he was listening when we said, Duke are phonies in a big spot, and he took Michigan, and he blamed us. He blamed us. I said, come on, Dad.
Shire was great at the end of that game.
I said, come on. He goes.
Shire was great.
He goes. You guys were in, and he goes to quote you and Colin. You guys were dead wrong. I'm like, yeah, whatever. One game.
I'm not gonna lie. Got to give Shire credit. Shire
we got to eat a crow. We got to eat a crow there.
Okay,
we got to eat a crow.
Great.
Granted, they were the home team too.
No, it was in DC. It was a neutral field.
Whoops.
Neutral field.
How you could tell I didn't watch a second of the game, Colin.
And the other game, Arizona. Arizona's also a win-it-all team. And Christian, did you take a look at what Big Monday looks like? I know you two are big fans of Big Monday.
I'm here in the booth producing for you from 6 to 7, and then I'm going to get a new car battery. So it's Little Monday for me.
7 p.m. Louisville at North Carolina, and then 9 p.m. is Kansas at Houston. How about that? FCU, put your money away in a safe spot, or go get a loan with a safe team. as an FCU.
Absolutely. And, folks, even if you just need a personal banking account, we'll give my good friends over at Flagler Credit Union. I've always been saying Flagler, that local name, that name that we know, they're the ones that you could trust with your money. Personal checking accounts, business checking accounts, and if you need to take some money out to get that new car, to make that home improvement, take a vacation, think of Flagler, because they're going to charge you less since they're a non-for-profit cooperative. They got 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. They're the official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics. Open up an account today by visiting theflaglercu.org or stop by one of those 4 locations. They're the ones you could trust with your money.
Jonathan Zazzo coming up next. We're live here at Cacti Park. Let's loop in Mr. 305. On the other side of things, it's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation, 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Mike Rizzo here. Moving soon? Trust the pros who move the pros. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered. They've been trusted by families, businesses, and they're now the official movers of the UFC. Call the world's only total relocation company.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 27 national championships, including their 3rd championship in women's soccer. Visit KUCHawks.com for the latest on the championship athletic programs at Kaiser University.
Want to play college football? Register today for the free Orange Bowl Florida High School Football Showcase presented by Baptist Health. Hit the gridiron on Saturday, February 28th at St. Thomas University in Miami Gardens and show off your football skills in front of coaches from across the country for a chance to earn scholarships for college. The event is open to high school juniors and seniors. More than $1 million is awarded each year. Register for free today at orangebowl.org.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Mike Rizzo and Colin Russo. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. You get a 6:05 first pitch between the Phillies and the Nationals for some spring training action right here at Cacti Park. A lot of Philly fans coming out for this, as there's a big East Coast influence out for obvious reasons right here in South Florida. You had that excellent gold medal game between the United States and Canada yesterday morning. You got Colin Russo and Christian Catt. Let's loop in good friend of show. Let's get right to it. The voice of the 305, Jonathan Zazzo.
You might know him as the Cooper City Rattlesnake. He's the human flamethrower of Miami sports radio.
You could be a maniac without being a jerk.
The preacher of the Pat Riley Gospel.
They don't complain. They don't make excuses. This is the NBA. Deal with it.
The mayor of Dolphins Delusion.
Can the Bills offense keep up with the Dolphins offense?
And the only guy who can go from breaking down the Panthers power play to cutting a full-blown Ric Flair promo. Woo! Jonathan Zaslow is the voice of the 305. Presented by Anajar and Levine and Twin Peaks.
Mr. Zaslow, welcome in. How you doing today?
Good. What's up, my dogs? How you doing?
Says.
How was your weekend? Getting up in the morning, how did you handle watching that Olympic gold medal game? Did you go somewhere for it? Did you just set the alarm at 7:55, turn on the game at 8? How'd you do?
I mean, did I go somewhere? The 8 a.m. Go somewhere. I set my alarm for 7:59 a.m. The alarm went off. Gave me 11 minutes to do my business and get in front of the TV downstairs and watch the game. I watched it right here in the Zaslow Mansion family room. I enjoyed it very much.
You didn't see all the videos of people opening up the bars around the country. I saw the ones famously in Oxford, Ohio, with the Miami of Ohio students. I know I'm not expecting you to go to a college bar, but I am saying it is cool how some of these bars, opened up their doors at 6 a.m. for an 8 a.m. Puck drop.
I mean, I'm 45 years old. All right, 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I'm going to be at the bar to watch the hockey game? No, I'm lucky.
How often will you see a gold medal being won by the United States in your lifetime in ice hockey? Yeah, let's be fair. That's your
right.
moment.
It's amazing, right? Because I'm a huge hockey fan, and yeah, it almost takes you by surprise. It's the first time in all of our lifetimes here that are talking right now that the U.S. has won gold in hockey. It's amazing.
Says he didn't wake up in boots, brother.
No, man.
I find that is, Colin thinks you're waking up, cracking open a cold one.
Listen, I thought Zaz would make an event out of it. I was wrong. I didn't realize.
Colin had the fraternity. He had the entire fraternity here in South Florida over the weekend. So, he was in that mode. So give him
my younger days, you get up and you go to the bar, you get together with friends, you get a little hair of the dog, and you get things going early in the morning. But no, man, like my alarm went off at 7:59. I gave it a good think for 10 seconds, whether or not I want to shut the alarm off, roll back over, and not even watch. I was tired. When I decided out, I'm going to regret that. So I got up and I watched the game, and it was great. It was great.
And your takeaways from the game specifically, let's start with what Nathan McKinnon said post-game about how the United States – it was taken a little out of context. If you read the whole quote, he was basically giving them the props. He said, I thought we played better. But point being, he says along the lines of, you be the judge of who you thought the better team was today in a 2-1 overtime loss for Canada. First of all, what's your takeaway on him saying that in that moment, number one? And number two, what was your takeaway after seeing that 2-1 overtime winner on the 3v3?
Yeah, well, him being the messenger there, he's a bad messenger. Because he had he's one of the best players in the world, but he had a wide open cage and he missed it. Like he totally blew it. He buries that 99 out of 100 times. And the one time he misses it, we saw it yesterday. All right. And if he buries that, then they go up 2-1 in the third period and they win the gold medal. All right. So he's not a great messenger for talking about how they were the better team. If he did his job, they would have won. But even with that said, anyone who watched the game knows Canada dominated the game. I mean, they did. You look at the shots on goal, the number of chances, the high danger chances they had throughout the game. And that's part of what makes hockey so great is because, in basketball, if one team dominates the other, it's a blowout. In football, if one team dominates the other, it's a blowout. But hockey, a low-scoring game, one team can dominate the other and still come up short. Because you could wind up getting goalied, essentially. And Connor Hellebuck, he stood on his head and had an all-time performance. If we were to go back to 46 years ago to the day yesterday of the United States knocking off the Soviets in the semifinal, the Soviets outplayed the U.S. You go look at the shots on goal there, but Jim Craig stood on his head and the U.S. buried their opportunities. And all we remember now is not that the Soviets dominated the game, it's that the U.S. pulled off the upset. So that's all that we're going to remember out of yesterday's game. Now, as far as the 3-on-3 goes, I think 3-on-3 is super exciting. I love it in the National Hockey League, and I would hate it if they did it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's a reason why they don't do it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're not going to play, overtime over and over again in the regular season. No one needs to be up until 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night. But in the Stanley Cup playoffs, we'll play all night. Because you got to have a legit winner. And I'm a little bit surprised that that's not – that we at least don't trend in that direction in a gold medal game. Give me 10 minutes of 5-on-5, then maybe give me the next 10 minutes is 4-on-4, and the next 10 minutes is 3-on-3. You got to get a winner eventually, I'm surprised that they go to the 3-on-3 right away. I believe this is the second Olympics that they've done this with. It's super exciting, the 3-on-3. I love it in the regular season with the NHL, but I don't necessarily love it in the gold medal game.
That played to our favors as the 3v3.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. Like, Canada was probably the more talented team. So that, when you're throwing a line out there of Celebrini, McKinnon, and McDavid, I feel like it's in Canada's favor. So.
But the one thing about it is that it is just breakaway after breakaway, and it's who can capitalize. There's going to be 7-8 breakaways in the first 4 minutes, and one of them's going to go down. It's just got to be the first one to the net.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that's the way they do it. But at the same time, like, anyone who wants to poo-poo it, that, the U.S. won on a gimmick, United States can laugh in their face, anyone who wants to say that.
Now, Zaz, you've seen your team win 2 straight Stanley Cups back-to-back. Where does this rank as far as a hockey team that you have a rooting interest for and best games you've ever watched?
Oh, I mean, it was a great game, but, like, the rest of my day was normal yesterday. It's funny because I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm watching the overtime begin, and my younger son says to me, and he just got downstairs like 30 minutes before that, he wasn't waking up, and we're watching the game, and he says, "Are you going to go crazy if the U.S. wins?" I'm like, no, I hope they win, but I'm going to be okay if they don't. I treat the international game, and also it's the way I am with college sports too. It's different to me than the way that I treat the pro game. I care a lot more about my club team than I do, the international team. I mean, I don't know what that necessarily says about me as American. I love this country, but I care. It's like, it's weird for me watching the game yesterday. It's like, obviously I'm rooting for the USA and I really want them to win, but you're telling me like I like Austin Matthews now because I don't. Like, I don't like Austin Matthews, So it's a weird thing where I have to pretend I don't see the names on the back of some of those sweaters,
Well, there's some people out there, the Ranger fans of the world, that are pissed off that Jack Hughes was the one who got the golden goal, and it's hard to root for him in that perspective. I mean, my argument here, Mike and I got into it a little bit about Mike thought that, the uber-interested hockey fan would be more interested in a random Stanley Cup playoff game comparatively to the international game. I thought he was dead wrong. Now, it's different, obviously, with your team. You watch, however many the Florida Panther games, and then they got to win. They got to win 15. You're there for 15 wins beforehand when you get to this spot. So it's a little different winning the Stanley Cup. But I think in terms of encapsulating a country, getting up, 8 in the morning was sort of an event. It almost felt funny, a funny feeling.
Don't you wonder
the way they did?
Don't you wonder why? See, everything you just said there, and the waking up, and it's an event, Sunday morning, 8 a.m. We're all doing it together. Everyone's super excited. And then also go back to last year, how excited we were this time last year with the Four Nations face-off. Why doesn't hockey? Why doesn't the NHL? And look, the game continues to grow and grow, but why is it not bigger in our country when we all get together for these huge events like yesterday, and we all admit it's such an amazing sport. It's an amazing game. Like, why doesn't all of that carry over onto the NHL? I mean, I know the NHL is great. I love hockey. I think it's the best sport. But why doesn't everyone now, ride that wave?
Now, we talked about it. I do think the fact is that the NHL did not allow their pro players to be sent the last 2 Olympics for different reasons. Once was the money, the other was COVID. It changes every time we do this. I think the fact is that they adjusted the season for it was to have their best players go. I think that made it better. I think the fact is, in terms of growing the game, I think hockey has always been a regionally dominated sport. And I think it takes moments like what we saw yesterday to sort of give the casual sports fan, the younger generation, a taste of what the sport is. And I don't think there is nearly enough of that for hockey because not a lot of people who are kicking around, the young people from around nowadays, remember 1980. And, they might remember 2010 for the wrong reasons, but the point being is you don't get enough of these opportunities. I think the NHL is taking a turn in the right direction by doing this consistently, having this, Four Nations once every a couple years and then doing the Olympics. I think that will add to a little flair.
It's such a great sport. It's so great. And I love days like yesterday where everyone is honed in on it and everyone gets to see what I see. It's such a great sport.
Jonathan Zazzo with us now. We're live at Cacti Park. Zaz joining us remotely on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Zaz, in terms of international, events for the United States to win, I'm not talking about specific games, but in terms of sports to watch in which the United States is representing, where does this specific, moment, a gold medal game for ice hockey, rank amongst the other ones that you could potentially see?
Well, obviously, the 1980 Miracle on Ice is the greatest ever. Nothing is ever going to surpass that. It's the greatest moment in American sports history. And you also have, of course, the greatest call in American sports history, and that being Al Michaels. Like, those two will never, ever be topped. And yesterday was really big, by the way, if I can give a quick shout out to Jack Hughes, who had the game-winning goal. That's a nice Jewish boy who has one of the biggest goals in the history of U.S. hockey right there, Jack Hughes. How about that?
Absolutely.
The Hughes family. Those are nice Jewish boys there who cement their names in history for the United States hockey. So I really, really love that. The soccer would be bigger. U.S. soccer would be so enormous. And I know
that'd be a huge upset. Be the biggest upset.
Yeah. And we like getting behind an upset here. It's part of what made yesterday fun is, it's the rare opportunity that the U.S. gets to, be the underdog, because they were the underdog yesterday, not by a ton, but they were the underdog. And, of course, they hadn't won a gold medal in 46 years, so there's that. But, the U.S., the World Cup, they've never won a World Cup, be massive underdog. This summer would be amazing if they could make a little bit of a run, which it would be a major upset.
Quickly, boys, I think I'd be bawling my eyes out if we won a World Cup. I've been following that team since 2002 in Seoul really, really closely. I mean, you guys know that soccer kind of my shtick like that. That's how big I would cry.
Mike,
I wasn't
you would cry
Sunday,
if they made it to the World Cup final.
Oh, my
think
God.
That's all it took.
I would cry if we would make the Final Four, the semifinal. I'd cry if we damn near make the quarterfinal. One of the 8 teams. I mean, geez. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
It'd
be really cool. Those are the international competitions. We got it with the hockey yesterday. If the U.S. soccer team can make a little bit of noise, it'd be a very, very big deal.
And it says now the expectation is there that they got to make the final 8. So, here we are.
Expectation is certainly a word.
Listen, Taylor Twellman, who I had on Pink Smoke, who I call the authority of world football on this side of the hemisphere, he said, Riz, one of the final 8 teams is the expectations.
Zaz, where can people tune in to you if they want to listen to more?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search Zaslow Show 2.0. We got everything Miami sports, everything 305. We got you covered. Today, we did a lot on the gold medal game from yesterday. We had a lot of fun. Please like, rate, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And every episode of Zaslow Show 2.0 is presented by Anna Jarn Levine, Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733.
Appreciate it, Zaz. Looking forward to talking again soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Jonathan Zazzo, the voice of the 305 on the Zazzo Show 2.0. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo live here from Cacti Park. We will game plan for greatness on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, Monday, the 23rd of February, 2026. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. We got Christian Cat behind the glass at the City Place Studios. If you missed any of the show, go listen back. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Just go to Russo and Rizzo, or go watch us live on Twitter and Facebook at ESPN West Palm and on YouTube at ESPN South Florida. We're live here at Cacti Park. We're just about, 15 minutes from now. We're going to see a little Phillies and Nationals action. People are starting to fill the stands. It's going to be a nice, cool night here, so make sure you bring a hoodie, bring a jacket if you're coming on down to Cacti Park to come enjoy some spring training baseball. But if you're also in the South Florida area and you're thinking, boy, I want to watch some golf, and I want to watch some golf locally, well, in 2 weeks, you're going to have the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational coming right down to Broken Sound, just 2 weeks.
It's my two favorite things combining into one. I love football. I love golf. I love the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the best to ever do it, and I love some of the best to ever touch the links in general with the PGA Tour champions. It is the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational, and it is returning to the iconic old course at Broken Sound in Boca Raton. Again, March 6th through the 8th. Here are just a couple of the names of the Pro Football Hall of Famers that are committed that will be there. How about Brian Urlacher? You like defense? You like one of the best linebackers of his generation? He is going to be there. Maybe one of the best wide receivers of all time, Calvin Johnson? Yes, you can count on it. Bank on it. He is there. Terrell Davis? You betcha he's going to be there. And that's just scratching the surface. Those are the Pro Football Hall of Famers. And then we get to the PGA Champions Tour studs like Ernie Els, Zach Johnson, Patrick Harrington. They're all committed to be there. And there are a couple of names that have yet to be announced that they got the inside scoop on. Keep an eye on it. We're talking about heavy freaking hitters that are soon to be announced for the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. It's March 6th through the 8th, not this weekend, but the weekend after, and tickets are starting at just $36 per day. That's it. Starting at just $36, we're talking about unforgettable access to the game's greatest on the gridiron and the sport's greatest on the golf course. It's more than just a tournament, it's the home of legends. You can get those cheap tickets now at JamesHardyInvitational.com. James, H-A-R-D-I-E, Invitational.com.
Let's game plan for greatness with Men's Only Medical.
Men, games aren't won on Friday night. They're won Monday through Thursday.
You find out life's this game of inches.
It's about preparation, it's about discipline, and it's about showing up ready to dominate.
That's gonna make the difference between winning and losing.
And now, your game plan for greatness. Brought to you by Men's Only Medical. Visit mensonlymedical.com.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Let's go play some football. Let's go, baby!
Folks, you hear me talk about Men's Only Medical all the time. That's my brother over there on North Dixie Highway, Dr. Al. Changing the game one pace, one step at a time with the one-stop shop men's health clinic here in West Palm Beach. Visit them online, mensonlymedical.com, mensonlymedical.com. Stop in person on North Dixie Highway. Tell them Riz sent you. All right, game plan for greatness. What we're going to game plan today is how the United States can go back-to-back championships in international competitions. You just saw us win the Olympic gold medal in the Olympics in Milan. Now let's talk about how Team USA could win the World Baseball Classic. Colin, this team is chock full of MLB players. My game plan for greatness for this baseball team to win the World Baseball Classic. The young players have to show up. Folks, Pete Crow Armstrong, 2002. Roman Anthony. By the way, if you go to usabaseball.com and look up Roman Anthony, hometown, West Palm Beach. West Palm native, Roman Anthony. And Paul Skeens, born in 2002. The young players are going to have to show up and show out. I hope we see the next bright generation of United States players on the baseball side of Pete Crow, Roman Anthony, and Paul Skeens. And I think all three are going to get significant playing time, obviously with Skeensy being the NL Cy Young. My game plan for greatness with the baseball team, let's have the young players step up.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of that, and obviously all the eyes are set on Japan and eventually going against them twice. One thing you know about Japan is they're going to have two pitchers who are pretty nails in a big spot in Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, going in their biggest games. So that's something I'm looking at with no Tarek Skubal because the guy's treating it as a vacation and he wants to show up, play one game, and then Scott Boras tells him to leave. A little Darren Peterson-like if you're a Kansas basketball fan. But with Tarek Skubal, I'm not saying you need to replace him, but who are your top three pitchers going to be? It's very intriguing to do pitching at that point in the year. They have no momentum. They've really just started throwing for the last month. They're not trying to go completely all out. Unless you're Paul Skeens, nobody's going to go 120 pitches. So because of that, you need to be a lot more savvy with how you deploy your arms because they don't have a season's worth of workload to work around. With no Tarek Skubal, who we'd be confident to give you 7 innings on any given night, you don't have that anymore. So who can you rely on in your biggest 3 games of the year, that semifinal on that Sunday or Monday, whatever day it is, into Tuesday? Who are you going to look to? Who's going to be the first out of the bullpen? I think figuring out pitching is going to be a big intriguing note to see who plays well early, because I think that'll determine how they figure out pitching later.
And folks, that was our game plan for greatness presented by our good buddy Doc Al over at Men's Only Medical. Kyle, it's Big Monday tonight. You still got the frat house here, huh?
Well, I had 7 guys visit me over the weekend. 7. And we hosted them, and it was completely fine.
How's it? Did my air mattress hold out? It deflates because it deflates over time.
Yes, it does.
But people are able to sleep on it?
Fine.
Okay.
It was
all
fine.
right.
It
Just
worked.
making sure.
It worked. I had 5 air mattresses present. It was not a big problem. Everybody worked out. Nobody got hurt. But the problem is 2 of them live in New York. And New York and the tri-state area right now up north on the northeast is getting pounded with like the worst snowstorm of the year. So because of that, I think we're going to have to manage. But on the other side of things, we got the national anthem going on right now. It's Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We'll see you next time. We're doing Sunday Huddle next on ESPN 106.3.